Hey there, I'm Angenette Levy. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe and also hit the bell for notifications and hit that thumbs up button. It helps the video in the algorithm. Also, if you would, please let me know where you're watching from and what you think of this video. Well, we have another installment of the show that I like to call As Plum Street Turns. It reminds me kind of Days of Our Lives. Remember when that soap opera would start and it would be the music like do 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 do, and you'd see the sands running through the hourglass, and the announcer would say, "Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives." Well, guess what? We have another installment of the Days of Our Lives Plum Street version. So this is what happened on Monday. The police chief, Terri Theetge, was placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation into her leadership. What does that mean? I don't think anybody knows, but I think it's code for we are going to go look for something, and we're going to look into her leadership skills. We're going to look for something to justify firing her, because that's what we want to do right before an election, because things look really bad in downtown Cincinnati. We have criminals running amok, shooting into businesses. One guy turned himself in with his lawyer. Probably shouldn't have been out on the street in the first place. I guarantee you the reason they're doing this is because they fired the fire chief back in 2023, and he was not afforded any due process. And basically, the federal courts said he was not afforded due process. The city violated basically his rights to due process in the employment process. The mayor, Aftab Piraval, and the city manager, Cheryl Long, she's not a queen. He's not a king. Although I have on occasion called him the prom king mayor, not publicly until now, but I have been doing it for a long time because I feel like he's the kind of guy that likes to go places and make little social media videos and say, "Hey, everybody, I'm here cutting a ribbon. Hey, this looks really good."
Hey everyone, it's Mayor Aftab, and I'm so excited for tonight and this weekend. Tonight, of course, the Bengals are playing the Steelers, and we're also kicking off the Monica and Brandy tour featuring Kelly Rowland. So excited that Cincinnati is kicking off this tour. We are built to host these large events. And I'm a big 90s R&B guy.
But he doesn't, it's like all fluff. There's no substance. And, he apparently was spending a lot of time during the presidential election in 2024 in Washington, D.C. He thought Kamala Harris, from what I'm being told, was going to win. And then he was going to skip off to D.C. and get some appointment there and have some cushy job. And then he'd be on his way to doing whatever it is he thinks he's destined to do in politics. Well, guess what? We knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to happen. You could tell from just watching everything. It didn't matter how many people showed up to see Beyonce in Texas. When Kamala Harris showed up, they were there to see Beyonce. Okay, that's just the truth. Let's be honest here. It's the truth. So things didn't work out the way he had planned. And running a city, especially one like Cincinnati with, issues like crime, a history of racial issues, things like that, you got to be tough. And you got to actually get your hands a little dirty, and you have to work collaboratively with different groups of people. And you have to actually know how to get things done. And when it gets hot, you got to be able to deal with it. I don't think Aftab Piraval can deal with it. I think he has no idea how to deal with the crime problem. He's got people coming at him saying, "What are you going to do about this?" You've got the business community saying, "Everything's screwed up downtown. What are you going to do about this?" And, somebody's head's got to roll. It's not going to be his. So somebody's got to pay. And, it appears the police chief is going to be the one who's going to pay. So she's been placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. So let's pull up. I'm going to pull up what I'm seeing about this so-called investigation that is being launched. There's also been an interim police chief named. His name is Adam Henney. And that is important because Assistant Police Chief Adam Henney, up until this month, was Captain Adam Henney. important because he is the guy that after the whole Cincinnati brawl brouhaha in the summer, when there was a big uproar over only African American people being charged with crimes related to that attack downtown, there were people on city council and some activists in the African American community who said, that white guy in the crowd, he should have been charged. There needs to be some other people charged here, and he should be charged. Well, apparently, none of the detectives or officers in the Cincinnati Police Department felt that he should be charged. They felt he was a crime victim. Well, take a look at the pictures. This is why they felt he was a crime victim. They wouldn't sign the charges. Then Captain Henney with the Cincinnati Police Department signed the charges, charging this Alex Chervensky guy with, some charges related to the brawl. I mean, look at that guy. He got his face beaten up pretty badly. So some of the officers, apparently most of them, didn't feel charges were appropriate in this case because they looked at this guy as a victim. They had arrested all of these other people for the brawl, but the charges said something like he was taunting, endlessly taunting people, and he caused this. Well, his attorney says he was defending himself, and that's what he did. So we'll see how that all plays out in court. But this guy might end up suing the city as well, because it sounds like there was a lot of pressure from city administration and city council for the police department to charge this guy. So now Adam Henney, recently promoted Assistant Chief Adam Henney, is the interim police chief. So let's look, if you would, at the statement that the city issued regarding this whole thing tonight. So I'm going to cite Fox 19's story on this. Cheryl Long, the city manager, said that Terri Theetge is on leave pending an internal investigation on the effectiveness of her leadership in the Cincinnati Police Department. And then the statement says, the city continues to face serious public safety challenges that underscore the need for stability at the command level. So you're suggesting there's instability, or that we need stability, or we've removed the chief and put her on leave, so we need stability. Therefore, I've named Assistant Chief Adam Henney as the interim police chief. Long says that the focus of the administration is providing stability within the department and ensuring public safety, and says she has full confidence in interim Chief Henney and the department's command staff to continue their dedicated work at this time. That's not a reason. I don't know if that's a legit reason to put somebody on administrative leave. Usually when there's an investigation and somebody's been put on administrative leave, there's got to be a reason for the investigation. There has to be cause for an investigation. What's the cause? It sounds like you told her last week, we want you to resign. We want you out of here. We want you to sign an NDA. She's like, I'm not going to go. And so now you're like, okay, now we got to find a reason to fire her. Do we really want to get sued like we did with Fire Chief Michael Washington, and we have major egg on our face from that, and we're going to pay through the nose for that one? Gosh, now we got to find a reason to go fire her. So we got to put her on leave. That's due process, right? Putting her on leave. And now we're going to have an investigation into the effectiveness of her leadership. Last week, apparently the mayor said, yeah, I have full confidence on her. And then he shifted gears and said, all options are on the table. Apparently some people in the business community wanted the police chief fired. The people in the business community want crime to go down so their patrons feel safe coming downtown. So I don't know why they think firing the police chief is automatically going to cure that problem. It's a multi-pronged problem. You've got people consulting for the city who probably shouldn't be consulting for the city. Iris Rowley, I think, is probably one of them. I think at one point in time, she played an important role in the collaborative agreement and things like that. And she may still have a role to play, but she's getting paid a lot of money. And I'm not really sure what exactly it is she's doing. Sounding off on the police department. And take a look at this video. This was posted in the summer.
How you doing, ma'am? They're just upset that they got a parking ticket. Did you give a
No, we give lots of warnings here. So the warnings are actually the signs that say no parking anytime. So that's what we consider the warning. So we're going to start going down the line and address these parking issues. So we just pulled down the street. It's the first car we saw, and we're going to address the rest of the cars that we see in the street. We did, yes. We offered her to move rather than tow the car. So we're not towing her. We're just allowing her to leave because it is a tow zone park here. So we're not towing her. We just asked her to leave, but we are writing a ticket. This happens. I'm sure you're familiar with the street.
Some emotional learning.
Oh, good. Okay. I think the last time I saw you, you were talking about living here.
So if we could be just a little bit more. This is hard. So I'm living here.
Sure.
I don't go away. I'm here every day and all night.
Great. Okay.
So my role is to ensure that there's equity down here and try to problem solve to figure out how to help.
Great.
So the best that we can do together, and the more you all can do to help me in showing them that we're trying to work together, and that is what we need right now. Everybody is high level intensity.
You're not wrong about that. Yeah.
Everybody.
Right.
And I know that there are strategies you all have to do, but
sure.
If we can get some community mores so that people feel like they are included. As I said, I'll be living here. I've been living down here since last Thursday.
Great. Okay. Yeah. I don't have much more to say other than I do have to enforce certain parking things. It's my discretion to tow or not. I didn't feel it was right to tow the
It's your
vehicle.
discretion to give a ticket or not.
That is true as well. Yes. And the amount of times I've been down here giving warnings is just beyond how many times I've been
Public street right here?
We
do this everywhere?
We do this in this area. So we are assigned to Finley Market, and we did it.
This street right here, down here?
100 Green on the other side of Grace.
On the other side of
It's
Race?
not just the street. Yeah.
We get the numbers are easy to get to. We don't have to banter back and forth. What I'm asking is that, and then I'll talk to the chief. When y'all leave, I'm going to call in and say, can we ratchet it down? I understand you have discretion about enforcing and giving tickets. So let's just.
So you're asking us. Can I get what you're asking?
I'm not
us?
asking anything. I'll have the chief ask you all what to do. I'm not asking you.
All right. Have a nice day. You have their number? Yeah. Can you call them and tell them to get down and ask them to move it for us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get it worked on.
So you're just going down the street to ticket it.
So, Pam, let me explain to you what I'm doing. About once a shift, I'll come down the street, walk up and down, check on people. We have a lot of overdoses on the street. I always carry Narcan on me. I had to give Narcan to multiple people on the street.
I'm listening. I'm just multitasking.
You're fine. I make sure people have water. I make sure if I see. You're fine.
No.
I got a
David Robinson, how are you today, honey? Yeah? I'm doing okay. Yeah? You had food today? Yeah? Yay? You're doing your part. I know you always clean up over here.
I help mess up.
That's all right. All right. Honey, can you pour that alcohol out? You can't have open containers in the street. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I was going to say,
Do you do the same thing on Elm Street? I told you this the last time I saw you.
oh, you want me to, you're telling me I need to patrol Elm Street?
No, I want you to enforce the same laws on Elm Street.
Okay, ma'am.
This conversation before.
Okay, we can talk about this later. I'm going to continue to do my job though for now, okay? $16.95. Can you advise what fire has on Republic? You didn't go to court again. What happened?
I didn't mean to miss it. I actually just forgot that day.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. You need another recite? You want me to recite you? You want to walk down to my car? All right, I got you. Ma'am, I'm in the middle of a recite. He missed court. He has a, yes. Just, then you're going to have no, I actually need to write him a court date. That's fine. Okay, that's completely fine. You're welcome to follow, but at a distance where I can conduct business.
I'm going to follow you. How did you know who he was?
I've dealt with Emmanuel many times.
Do you have an open warrant? Recite it. Is it
That's
recited?
what we're doing.
You don't have to
Ma'am,
take
I
it to the
can't.
car.
We are.
But I'm going to follow you because I don't trust what you're saying.
You
I don't
need
like
to
how
take
you're
a step.
talking to the people.
I understand.
I don't have to do anything you say.
I need to conduct the business that I need to do. $16.95. Is there a supervisor that can respond to Republic Street?
Not today, not while I'm here.
Okay. 16 cents.
Now, Iris Rowley is a paid city consultant. Why is she basically speaking to a police officer like that who's trying to deal with a member of the public? I had in the summer when people saw that video who work in law enforcement, they told me that she should have probably been cited for, interfering in official business or obstruction of business, official business, whatever that misdemeanor charge is in the state of Ohio. That's how you deal with police. You helped with the collaborative agreement, and that's how you talk to police officers when you're supposed to be working collaboratively with them. Makes little to no sense to me. So it sounds like they're launching an investigation to find something. They got to find something. They got to look for something because she's been the police chief for a little bit now. All of a sudden, there's this investigation underway into the effectiveness of her leadership. Her lawyer will be holding a press conference, this Steve M., who represented the fired fire chief, Michael Washington, and, cleaned the clock of the city, as I told you in another video. He's holding a press conference at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. I will be very interested to hear what this Steve M. has to say. What is he going to say? His client is sitting on paid administrative leave while the city investigates. Investigates what? We still don't know. And I'm kind of curious. What's going on here? What's going to happen? We don't know. But it sounds like they're looking for a reason to get rid of her and to avoid a lawsuit. What is a legitimate reason to fire somebody? I don't know. I guess the city attorney will sign off on that. But it's very clear to me that the mayor is getting a lot of pressure right before the election. The city votes the way it votes. It is what it is. So I don't know what he thinks firing the police chief is going to do. It's just going to rally more support for her. So it sounds really silly to me that you're thinking, I'm just going to get rid of the police chief who's doing basically what the city manager tells her to do and what the mayor tells her to do. They're receiving consultation from people like Iris Rowley. So what in the world? What is going on here? It makes about 0 sense. So the next police chief is just going to have to deal with the same mess. Andy Wilson, he works for, he's the head of, I should say, the Ohio Department of Public Safety. He posted on Facebook last week or over the weekend that they did a big operation downtown. They arrested somebody who was violent, assaulted police officers, was arrested for robbery, things like that. This was an operation with Cincinnati police, the feds, the state. And then the person gets like a really low bond the next day, like 10%, $1,000 at 10%, and then OR bond on like robbery charges. It's a hot mess. So you've got people who don't really want to make the tough decisions and do the dirty work because people at City Hall don't want to walk over to the courthouse and have a discussion about how can we do things a little bit better. We can't be just letting these people out on these super low bonds when they do violent things. Not everybody needs a super high bond, but you got people who are doing violent things and then you're just turning them loose on the street. So there are some real problems here in this city. And until people actually figure out how to deal with them and make tough decisions, and it might involve offending their friends a little bit, it's not going to get any better. You might fire the police chief, but the problems will still persist and they will exist. So that's it for now. I'll let you know what happens tomorrow at this press conference with the attorney. Again, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. That would be great. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.